Hey, hello everyone. Sorry for that. I was just trying to fix my mic. Something went wrong as I just pressed. Sorry for that. I was just Seems as if I'm a complete beginner in streaming right now. But guys, today we have a very exciting guest joining us. He's one of those players whom I had met roughly a couple of years ago and who looked very, very talented. But at the same time, I felt that, he was not very sure whether he would continue being a professional chess player. He was just 16 back then. And now he's 18, and when I met him, he was 2439. Now he's reached 2600. And in the last 3 months, he managed to gain 100 ELO points, winning tournaments like World Open, US Junior Championship. And he's beaten some amazing players on the go. Yeah, I mean, he's a great, great talent. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome him today. His name is Hans Niemann. Welcome, Hans. Ha-
Thank you for having me.
How are
I'm
you
glad to be
doing?
back after. I'm doing great. Chess has been really good lately, and I'm glad to see that my pessimism in those interviews just saying I'll never be professional are all proven wrong now.
You had said in that interview, and I listened to it today. You had said if I manage to reach 2600 uh,
Yeah.
in before I finish my high school, then I'll think about going professional. That's what you had mentioned. Were you able to achieve that? Like you have become 2600, but did your high school?
It was it was a month after I graduated, or maybe a month and a half. So it was technically I didn't, but it was around the time that it needed to happen. But yeah, so it's yeah, it was a good moment, but technically I shouldn't be professional since it wasn't before, I guess. But
Yeah, true, but okay. I mean, you're very close, and I want to show the viewers a few things. By the way, this is something we prepared for today, and yeah, you're here. Let me just fix this. So there are two things that I want to do with you. One is to go over some of your games, okay, and try to understand your thought process as a chess player. And the second thing that I want to do is understand as to how this worm started to go upwards in the last 2 to 3 months in a very, very steep fashion.
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, so which would you like to start with?
I mean, as we go, you tell us. I want to see the 4 games that you sent me. I also want to test our viewers on some of the questions that some of the nice moves that you played. So we can ask them and people can join in. But also on the go, like, what has been one thing that you think has really worked out for you?
Yeah, so I think I was obviously very fortunate during the pandemic to play so much chess, and I think a lot of other junior players maybe weren't able to have that opportunity or weren't aware that they could play so much, because during the pandemic I played more chess than I probably have played in the past 3 years.
Mhm.
And this year I will probably be playing, you know, I don't know, maybe like a lot of games this year. I'll be playing a lot of. I think it'll be probably yeah. So that's my schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so much is
But it's
happening.
longer. Now I know more. So I'll be playing 2 tournaments in Portugal, Serbian league. Then I'll be playing the Sharjah Masters. Then I'll be playing the Polish league. And then after this, I'm hoping to get into Isle of Man.
The Grand
I'm not
Swiss
sure
event.
how. Yeah, I think they might be giving some wildcards to junior players, or there's some qualifiers. But the goal is to play Isle of Man. And after Isle of Man, I'll be playing in Ellerbergat in Spain, and then Sunway Sitges. And then so after
That's like
Sitges,
70, 80 games there.
yeah, and then I averaged so that'll be the games. And then in January, there's Gibraltar or Tata, maybe. We'll see. It sort of depends on if the invites come, but we'll see.
So you've kind of turned into a professional chess player, right? Like completely into chess. About your academics and all, you've kept it on a hold right now.
Yeah, so I'm not attending university. I right now I'm sort of 100% just chess player. I'm barely streaming at all. I'm barely doing anything else other than just studying and playing.
Really? So I put two links of your Twitch channel, YouTube in the
Yeah,
description. You have like 57,000 people following you on Twitch. So all of that right now is on a hold. Yeah, you just completely into chess.
yeah, I might just do something very occasionally, but yeah, right now I'm 100% just chess and trying to reach the next level.
So how did you get motivated to do so much chess? Because your streaming was going well. I think you were also training a few of the. I mean, you are training normal chess players also, and you're training some celebrities also, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, you had things going well on the streaming front as well, right? So what happened that you sort of got into chess in such a big way?
I think I was sort of with all this the success in streaming, it didn't feel like it was fulfilling, because I always sort of just wanted to. I would play, online, and I'd do so well, and everyone would say, "Why are you an IM?" Everyone would say, "Why aren't you playing classical events?" And like I'd be doing well, but so I kind of felt like in order for me to be happy doing streaming, I need to reach, I need to sort of fulfill my potential as a chess player. But I really just enjoy competing so much, and I think COVID really showed me how much I missed competing in chess. And now ever since basically like ever since I got that last GM Norma, I've been so just motivated to continue improving.
You became a GM in October 2020, right? You finished all your requirements back then.
Yeah, the last norm was October, and I got the rating in December, and then the title was approved in January.
Right. So there were some very important events that took place over the last 6 months or so, and maybe the first one was the Sunway Sitges tournament, right? In 2020.
Yes.
Why was that so important for you?
Well, it was sort of my first tournament that I played in Europe, and it was my first experience really consistently playing against very strong players. I played guys like Cheparinov, Musard, and many really strong guys, and it was sort of a breakthrough event for me to show that I could really compete at a high level and be consistent. So it was big for my confidence as well.
Okay. So before we go into the specifics of how you worked on chess, let's have a look at this game. This is against Sebastian Mazet, who is a very strong player. He's rated 2557, and so let's begin. You are white. You started off with d4. Are you
Yeah.
like a attacking player, a positional player? What kind of?
I would just say I think it's a common question, but I never know how to answer it. I think I just sort of it's hard to define. I think I just play chess, and if I attack, I attack. If it's a positional game, it's a positional game. I'd like to think that I can be versatile when it comes to style.
Yeah, but when I see your games, like what I saw from it, and also I was seeing a few of your streams preparing for this, I felt like you are very active player. Yeah, you like to play active chess. You like to calculate a lot.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, you could.
And maybe you're still
Yeah,
evolving, yeah, as a player. So knight f6,
yeah.
c4,
See
e6,
for
and the Nimzo Indian that you played,
yeah,
e3, castles, bishop d3, and he played the move b6. Do you think this is kind
yes,
of an inferior line for black?
yeah. This is already advantage for white for sure. It just depends on how big it's going to be. And he chose a line that I had prepared, and knight e2. He sort of needs to play bishop a6 to try and play d5 and you know do something on the light squares. But yeah, b6 is with castles is just too slow, unfortunately.
So
Um,
if he wants to play b6, he should do it here.
yeah, you need to play, and even this is white has an advantage as well, but it's less significant.
Okay.
Um,
So castles, bishop d3, b6, and now a nice move, knight g2, defending this knight here. He went bishop b7, a3.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
were ready to give up a pawn, yeah, here.
yeah. Well, I had it prepared. Yeah, this was in my analysis.
Hmm.
I knew that this was just the computer gave us like 1.2 already. So
Okay, okay. So
rook g1 yeah,
he said e4.
and then e4, and then everything is just bishop h6 is coming, and everything is quite dominant.
Okay. So bishop e7, you went e4, nice move. d6, castles. Guys, look at this center he has built up for himself. And now opponent played c5. Hans said, okay, I'm going to close this bishop here. He went d5, e5, and now knight to g3, aiming at this square here on f5. He went knight e8, and now you went knight f5. He went bishop f6 here. What was your idea if he had gone bishop g5?
Yeah, so this was why I spent some time on this move. I was intending maybe it was either g3 or bishop takes and then g3. Um, so this was sort of the idea. But yeah, bishop g5 was what I expected.
That was
I was very happy to not see it.
to see bishop f6, right?
Yeah,
Okay, this next move which he made, I want the people in the chat to guess as to what white came up here. And you need to then, Hans, explain why you came up, because I found it very impressive. So guys, white to play here, what would you do in this position? Hans, we have something very interesting here. I don't know if you have seen this before, but when people write the moves, we get to see it.
mm.
Yeah. And so
Oh, very
we
nice.
get to know who's given what answers here. And then
No one has suggested.
this makes it very instructive for them, actually, because they have no one has suggested this move, which means they're going to learn something new today from you.
Yeah,
So everyone
I
wants to
think
go
me
queen
saying
g4.
it. Yeah, this is a hint that I said it's not been suggested. So people will start writing all legal moves
Yeah, you
to
see,
try
you
and
see the
predict.
moves coming up.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
Okay, so guys, the move here, which has been actually not mentioned by, I mean, maybe one or two of you have mentioned, it's gone down the list already. So yeah, it's come back up. So the move is G3 by young chess player and Shiv Shom. Only two of you have found this. But Hans, that's what I wanted you to explain. Why is this move, like, what was your thought behind it?
So the fundamental thing in this position it is the bishop dynamic between f6 and c1, and considering the pawn structure, if you can keep these bishops on the board, it's always very good for white. Because this bishop on d3 is obviously not so great. So the goal is to play h4 and prevent the trade of these bishops long term. And if I can do that, then the bishop on f6 is really just very bad. If I can play h4, and once I sort of isolate that bishop, it becomes evident how poorly placed all of black's pieces are on the back rank of the position.
True. So this g3 and h4 is a very nice idea, guys. It constricts the bishop on f6, and that's what Hans does. But it has some extra significance as well, as we'll see in the game. g6, knight h6, king h8, and now this. Okay, I want to ask again here, guys. What would you play here? Because this is again a tough move, and it shows his really nice style of play here. White to play.
I think someone will guess this.
Yeah,
this one. Faith in your viewers.
Yeah, they are working on chess quite a lot. And by the way, Hans, do you also follow some of the streams? I know you're busy playing chess, but do you follow chess? I had asked you back then, and you said yes, you watch it quite a lot. What's the situation now?
I follow most of the commentary streams you guys do with like the big groups. I like to watch, like when you guys had Anish, Vidit, and like Adiban all on the one call for the commentary. I would watch that. And then I also I looked at the Mumbai video with Vidit at the airport. That was interesting. I sort of, part of my training is just browsing the recent chess news. So yeah, I definitely see a lot of this stuff when I'm just browsing.
Did you solve that? What I gave to Vidit?
I didn't. I just looked briefly, and then I got distracted by another video, probably.
Okay. Okay. So let's have a look at the suggestions. This time, the main move that people have suggested is h5, but king g2 is the correct one. Om Motlani, Roas Thub, Arav Baid, Vijay Valivarti, Shiv Shom, Rabin Dhamala, Hetul Shah, Vasily Morozov, and Ghana Rockstars. Well done, guys. So this move, king g2, how do you find time for such a move?
Well, the point is his position is so bad that I really couldn't find a move for him. So I just need to go rook h1, h5, and when I play h5, I need to have bishop g5 not be possible. It's not bishop g5 isn't the end of the world, but also I might play like queen d7, queen h3, and it could be a bit annoying. So h5 directly didn't seem too strong.
So direct h5, you felt like there could be bishop g5 here.
Yeah, bishop g5. I just unnecessary when I can just prepare the h5 brick with king g2, rook h1.
Yes,
there's not like there's much that black can do to change the outcome of that pawn brick.
True. So bishop g7, h5 now. He went g5.
Yeah, so now it's key, right? Like if I play rook h1 first, then there's f5. So this is important to play.
Okay. So that's why
even f5 is probably a bad move as well, but everything is just so bad for black here. It's very tough.
Yeah, it's amazing how he slided into a bad position in just 17 moves. He went g5, and now again a very accurate move by you. You could have gone knight f5, but I think he would have taken it. So you decided to go knight g4.
Yeah, so if he wants to trade, I want the f5 square, and so the goal was to keep all the pieces on the board. It's just to make him feel the pain of all these pieces that are just dead.
Hmm.
So yeah, this I would have accepted a piece trade because obviously I'll just bring my knight to f5 and play f4 and he can resign. So yeah.
You mean, but the knight could anyway come to f5, right? So you will go on it at the right moment.
Yeah, well, even if there was a trade, right, then I'd obviously definitely go to f5.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, this is already not so good here. But yeah.
So he played queen d7. You went f3. Yeah. He played
Yeah.
h6, rook h1. And now the end is very beautiful because I mean it's very
Yeah,
different.
the ending is
The end is like a anticlimax. So you're
yeah.
going on the king side. You want to plan the f4 break, knight e3. His opponent played knight c7, and guys, now white to play. And how do you finish off the game?
Yeah, white to play and become grandmaster. So
Oh, this was the game that made you a GM.
this was the game.
Wow, wow. So was this your norm game or reaching 2500?
Reaching 2500.
Oh.
The game against Misha was the norm game.
So against whom? Mishra?
Yeah. So
Abhimanyu?
it's quite yeah.
Oh,
So it's quite funny that I got it against them.
the youngest GM in the world. So this you must be nervous, right, before this game, because reaching 2500, I've seen so many players always in that 2490 zone, coming back, then going up.
Yeah, I think in this game I had less reason to be nervous considering my position. So if my position wasn't so just crushing, I maybe would be a bit nervous. But I'd also had 2 games where I could have become 2500. Like I was playing Musard and I was much better winning and he held. And then I was playing against Cheparinov and I was outplaying him with black and I could have just made an easy draw and I over pushed. So there was maybe a bit of pressure to be the third game not to do it, but
But you did it, and let's see if nice, people have found this move very cool. They're getting stronger with your training.
yeah.
So Gaurang, Vasily, Bhavesh, Vijay, Om Shri, Tushar, Savite Chess, Soap, Aditya Majumdar, and Dhruv Malhotra. Well done, guys. The right move is knight a4. And I can picture you, Hans. You must have made the move and would have gone away from your chair, and
Yeah.
Did you expect him to resign or what?
Yeah, I expected him to resign. Yeah. There's not much. I think it was very weird because he usually always plays this King's Indian, and I had spent 5 hours preparing for it, and then he plays this, and then he sort of just showed that he really wanted to win, but was took way too much risk to do that.
Right, and so the b6 pawn cannot be defended, and Sebastian Maze resigned here, and Hans had become a GM at this point. You said that you had become an IM without much training, no coaches and all of it. Now, do you have a coach?
No, still don't have a coach.
Really?
Yeah.
So you cracked 2600 without a trainer?
Yeah, and the goal is to get 2700 without a trainer. So.
No, come on. This is something very interesting, and you need to tell us, there's so many youngsters watching this and will watch it later as well. How do you get this confidence? Because everyone is working with some trainer, some grandmaster, some.
Okay, they can do what they're doing, but I'm still gonna beat them. I don't need a trainer to improve. I personally improve by just playing chess and having fun, and I think the experience of playing in Europe so many games made me so much better than I became a much better player from playing 4 tournaments a month than I did than I would have from traditional training. And to be honest, recently this summer I've just been playing maybe some opening stuff from time to time, but I think I'm able to. I think it's for me just experience is the key
Do you
thing
analyze
there.
your games on your own afterwards? Like,
Yeah. I analyze my games. Maybe sometimes not during the tournaments because sometimes I'm like, okay, next game just to prepare. So I get a bit lost in that, but definitely always analyzing my games. But I think also for me, I'm able to hold myself accountable, and I'm able to sort of. I think for me, it's a lot of the improvement comes from understanding flaws in my thought process, and I think I'm able to sort of get in my own head. And
so
I
you're
think a lot
very
of people sort
objective.
of, yeah, and I think I'm self-driven as well. I don't need a coach telling me to study. I don't need someone to I will spend 12 hours in chess on my own without any encouragement or company. So
Nice. But after a point, you need to work on your opening theory, and these when you face now strong opponents who are 2600 plus, who are also well prepared, it's very difficult to get advantage with against them in the opening. And does that not
yeah.
put you under some stress there?
Well, I would say there's people I collaborate with on openings. I would say you could say they're seconds, so they're just friends that I happen to talk about lines with. But yeah, I would say openings are important, and they will be. But for now, I'm just focusing on. I don't know. I'm 26-12 now, so just need to try to break into the top 100, and at that point, I'll probably get it. Maybe I'll get a trainer, start to.
But do
But
you have?
for me, it's hard to find a good trainer, to be honest. I don't really. I think for me, it's just people say, "Okay, get a trainer." I'm like, who? And I don't know. I think I don't. If I think if I found someone that I liked, and I think for me, I would value more being a training partner to a top player, less of a traditional coach. Like if any 20 top 10 players want a training partner, let me know.
Okay, guys. If any top 10 guys or top GMs watching this, if you want to
Yeah.
work with Hans, then he's welcome to get that. I mean, he would love to do that.
Yeah.
Um, are there any partners whom you work that you can reveal right now, or they are all secrets?
Yeah, I can't reveal.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, there's someone helping me in St. Louis, but I cannot reveal.
Ah,
Uh, by their request was
okay,
to not
okay,
say. So,
got
but
it.
they are the amazing job. If I could say their name, I'd be singing their praise. So
Maybe when the time is right.
yeah,
Maybe when you reach 2700. Do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
There's one more game that I wanted to see, and this was a tremendous game, at least for me. Like, you sent me 4 games. I went over them, but I found this one to be the most impressive of all of them. This one is against Nicholas Cheka, and you are playing with the black pieces here.
Yeah. So this
And
was actually like a big turning point. The game is nice, but on a more like broad level, this was like a really important game for me because I was sort of on the verge of collapse and like, okay, I'm gonna, I can't improve. But then this was sort of the big turning point. Um, so yeah.
what happened? Like, I mean,
Okay,
this
so yeah, I can walk you through the Europe trip. So I first come to Europe, and in 1 month I gained 40 points, right? So I'm like, okay, this is amazing.
you are
And
two four
then
seven eight, right?
yeah, and then I'm 25-25. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, this is amazing.
Hmm.
And then in my first 2 tournaments, so I play 5 tournaments, right? In total, I gained 60 points. The first 5 tournaments, I'm up 60 points. I'm 25-50. And then this is like where disaster strikes. I lose 4 games in a row. And I go all the way back down. And then I sort of had a rough month. And then this month I end even. So I'm like, okay, even, being even on rating after losing 4 games in a row at one point is okay. And then the next month I lose 18 points.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my, like, what's happening? I was sort of adjusting and learning from experience. And then this game after I won, and this month I gained 66 points.
Wow.
So this was the start of a very, very good month, and the start of me regaining my confidence, and being able to sort of take all the lessons and losses and learn from everything.
So this was the month of April, and this is
Yeah.
where you I think also made this tweet. You said I was 2508 in April. Now I'm 2608.
Mhm.
This was somewhere in July. So like this, I think
Yeah.
from this game onwards, your upward path began.
Yes, for
Okay,
sure.
so let's have a look at this game. And what do you have to say about Nicholas Cheka? I have seen him play recently against Pragnananda at this junior speed chess championship, but he's very talented, right?
Mhm. Yeah, he's very talented. Unfortunately, he's sort of going to college, and he's not really going to be pursuing chess professionally, but um, obviously very strong. He's a very good friend of mine. We were in Europe for most of these tournaments in Italy. So yeah,
Sorry, Nihal. Yeah, sorry, not Pragnananda. He played against
yeah. I
Nihal.
was going to say he played against Neil, but yeah, Nico and I faced off um, 3 times in Europe actually. So we had our battles.
Okay, so this was in Italy. You went d4, knight f6, c4, d6, knight f3, d5, knight c3, bishop b4, the Ragozin, cd, ed, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, castles, e3. All very standard stuff until now. And you went bishop f5,
Yeah.
bd3 here.
Yeah, this is all the main line.
Second.
Bishop d3 isn't the main line. But it's just
Yeah, I mean, there is a
pretty.
queen b3, I think is the main move. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's slightly better, on the verge of equal for black.
Mhm. So you took queen takes, and it said that when you play the queen's gambit declined, which is now kind of I mean, your bishop is here, but it could be on e7. If you exchange the light squared bishop, black is kind of equal. So here, did you feel that?
Yeah, I felt very good, and then his next move made me feel not so good.
Yeah, he went a3. You said, okay, I want to keep the bishop here, and then, guys, okay, let's ask the chat. Find an aggressive move here for white. Although we're going to check this out from black. What do you play with white?
Yeah, this move was
It kind of woke you up, yeah. Like right now, how you are a bit sleepy. Maybe that move.
I'm a bit. Yeah, the reason I'm sleepy is because yesterday I was supposed to take a flight, and at midnight it was delayed till 6 a.m. and then they canceled the flight, and then I slept in the airport for like 1 hour. So I apologize for my yawning.
No,
But
completely
American
fine.
airports, terrible. I just want to go to Europe and get away from, you know. So yeah, that is why I'm a bit sleepy.
But you were going to a tournament, right? You have written like you played some weekend event or something.
Yeah, I played some weekend event. It was 3 rapid games and then 3 FIDE games. So I picked up some points there. But,
Oh,
yeah.
that's how you are 2612. I thought you were 2606, but you gained 60 points.
Yeah,
Nice.
I basically flew 7 hours just to play against Mikulewski. It's just one game, and then I beat him, so it was worth
Oh,
it.
you beat him. Wow.
Yeah, so I basically was like, I saw this list and I wanted to play these guys to gain some ratings. So it was funny that I made such a. That is how you can understand my current goals, that I'm flying 7 hours for one game against Mikulewski. So
Nice,
yeah.
nice. That shows your dedication. And by the way, the right move is G4. Vasily Morozov, young chess player. GP, Abhichess, Vardhan, Darshan, Savita, Bondita, Nimit, and Subhajit. Well done, all of you. This is the right move. G4 was played by Nicholas, and I think at this point you have everything to worry about, because you have a hook here. He wants to open up. He will go long, and then Rook G1. What was your mindset now? Like, how should black create play?
Well, I was even more worried because I think this was his preparation. Um, and the reason why I think this is his preparation is one of the guys who I think prepared him played this similar line in a different game.
Okay.
So this is sort of how you can figure out who's prepping who if you see similar lines. But,
yeah, that's very important.
I was worried, but I wanted to win, and I think Nico is more of a positional player, so I felt that the complications would be interesting.
Okay, so knight bd7, he went g5, pawn takes, and now he came here with the knight. And I think this is a good moment for everyone in the chat to think about what would you do here as black. I think these are the moments which are very difficult. So guys, try to think black to move. It's Niemann's move here, and not such an easy position.
Yeah, I think I spent maybe 25 minutes here really figuring it out.
Yeah, because I mean he of course, if given time, white will just long castle, maybe go rook g1. You don't have much to do. So black is Hans, by the way, and white is Nicholas. Okay, guys, well done, all of you. You are scoring it well. No name free chess videos. Vasily, Bondita, Savita, Alvin, Abhi, Chess, Ashish, and Govind. I think your next move here, c5, looks so risky because he could even just take this pawn.
Yeah, so at this point, I was sort of in the mentality that, well, okay, concretely, I made this work. But from a more general perspective, you know, if I don't play c5, the castle's queenside, and I just don't like. What am I supposed to do? Just wait to be checkmated. So, I think if I'm going to play c5 and make a break, and it's best when the king is in the center. So that was sort of.
So that was it. And how did you make this work? Knight d5.
CD4 was my intention.
CD4. And if he takes queen d4 here.
Yeah, queen a5 check is also possible.
Ooh,
here, yeah, now check. And I just felt the thing is that if the position opens up, then the knight on g5 and bishop on h4 just looks stupid. So I needed to sort of put some pressure, but it's also the line he played knight h7 here, but he missed my idea, which was important.
Yeah. Okay. So here, I think it's this rule which is like a flank attack should be met with an attack in the center. So c5, he went knight to h7 in this position, and you decided to take. Knight takes.
Yeah.
Knight takes.
The key. It should be mentioned that if knight takes f8, maybe you can ask them what the best move is there, because that's what he missed in the game.
Ooh.
So he missed this, and him missing this was sort of, he told me after the game, like he missed this move and he sort of lost his confidence and started making mistakes. So.
Because now if you take on c3, there is knight takes d7. So actually, it's not an easy move, guys. What do you do here with black? If you take here, this is hanging. If you take back on f8, then he'll take on d4. You are exchanged down. Yeah, this is the thing that I saw. Yeah, like you are able to see all these little tactics, and you are a very big fighter. I also saw this in your match with Duda. You were playing this banter blitz with him, and you were very much fighting against a world-class player, always finding tricks, not letting him go away easily.
Yeah, just all that blitz I've played has taught me to be a good trickster.
Yeah, this is
So
one thing I wanted to ask. Like a lot of like you played so much online chess, right? In the lockdown, like you must have played many hours. Has
yeah,
that helped you?
I think my classical chess not so much. Like now I don't play blitz anymore, like whatsoever. I just don't play. Like in the lockdown, if I'm bored, I'll go and just play some 3 minutes for like hours. Now if I'm bored, I'll just look at the latest Chess India video. So it's I think the blitz is not so good for my classical chess because in the past sometimes I'm playing a bit too quickly, but it was beneficial for my confidence. Like I got to play so many really strong guys, and for me to be able to be like, okay, I can compete against world class players in blitz is like, okay, why can't I do it in the classical? I just sort of realized that I need just more traditional training. I need to play more tournaments, but it helped me sort of be like, okay, you can make it there in blitz, so you just sort of need to adjust to classical.
Very nice. Okay, so the move here. Oh my, many of them found it.
Look at them! Wow, wow.
Savita Chess, Rahul, Vasili, Mohak, Bondita, Akul, Abhi Chess, Syed, Dibyajit, and Nijil. Guys, well done. Also, Hans is impressed here because this was not an easy move. Knight to e5.
Yeah.
And knight c5 does not work here.
Well, the point is if queen takes d4, you want sort of knight f3 check. Knight b3 is
not so important. If you go
yeah,
here,
the rook is not so important. Yeah. The queen is much more important. Yeah.
True. So here knight e5, and if he takes, there is knight f3 fork, and if he goes queen e2 or d1, let's say, then
you just take the knight on c3, and the knight on f8 is trapped.
Okay, beautiful. So the knight here is gone. Very good. So he took on f6 now. You took back, and he took on d4. It still looks very, very dangerous because after bishop e7, he went rook g1.
I felt okay here.
You felt okay?
Yeah, I think in these positions you just sort of have to get rid of your emotions and just play chess. So if I don't see the mate, I don't see the mate. So in this position, my thought process is, okay, I'm getting activity on a structural level. This position's not so great. So, we'll see what I can do.
So g6 was played by yourself here. He long castled here. And I liked your next move. Also very, very cool. I mean, it's a simple move, guys, but still I'll ask you, what did Hans do here? Beautiful, because the next part of the game he played very nice. Black to move. Do you not solve any books or something, Hans? Like, do you not check out some videos? I mean, you see on YouTube and all, that's great, but something which is more serious stuff, something more structured, there's so many.
Yeah, I have some books that I like. Agard's Grandmaster series. He has some calculation exercises. I like that. I also
Haven't you also worked with him a little bit, or?
I went to one of his training camps that was sponsored by the U.S. Chess School. So basically, the U.S. Chess School arranges these camps, and it was actually in St. Louis after the U.S. Juniors.
Okay.
So I was like, so I decided to go to that. But yeah, I think his calculation stuff is good. But then, yeah, I think also for me, it's just, I think a lot of people miss out on improvement because they study too much and don't play enough. Maybe that's just me. But my opinion is that you should be playing as much as you can. it's clear many people don't share that opinion. So
Yeah, it works
otherwise they'd be
different
playing.
for different people, I believe. Like I have interviewed several top players. I think for some, if they go without preparation, they feel very nervous, and for some, they just learn on the go. And I think you are in that category where you're learning on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the right move here is Rook C8. Well done, all of you. Beautiful. That is the move. Vasily, Rohit, Chess, Siddharth, Gana, Pravesh, Alvin, Ankit, Somendu, and Vansh. Rook C8 is the correct move, which was played by Hans. And then Queen D3 was played by him. And I think now you started taking over here. Knight to E4. He played Bishop E7, Queen E7. This is pinned. So he went King B1 and explain your next move. Why uh, Rook takes and why not
Well,
Knight takes?
yeah, I think knight takes is objectively the best move. Like the computer likes it, but I sort of, and basically you go rook c6 and you say, okay, look at your structure. This is ridiculous. But I calculated something concrete, and I thought you would falter. So I thought maybe this is a bit of hope, but I calculated and I thought, okay, he's not going to play this move, or it's very unlikely, and if he does, I'll still find a way. So. The,
So by the way, Knight takes F2 is very interesting, but it does not work on account of Knight takes D5, I believe here, which is very good.
yeah, this was important as well.
So that's why he took, pawn takes, and now you played Rook to C8.
Yeah, this just feels so much more natural than sort of, I don't know. If I take with a knight, okay, it's winning, I'm sure of it. But this just feels very, very natural. And the way, the intuitive way to play for me, regardless of obviously I justified it concretely. But,
Yes, and also it keeps the diagonal of the queen closed
yeah,
towards G6 with the knight.
no sort of yeah.
By the way,
So now the only move I expected c4. Sorry. Oh, sorry. What were we gonna say?
no, go on. C4.
Yeah, this was what I expected, and then there was some very long variation that I was. Knight takes f2,
Yeah.
and rook takes g6, f takes, queen takes, king h8, or it was very weird. But the point is that if queen h6, there's queen h7 check. So this was sort of the idea, and I thought this was winning. But there's maybe rook to d4 or something. I don't know. It's not so clear. Like even if queen h7 take cd5, it's not that easy, I guess. And f2 is sort of trapped. Not trapped, but it's probably winning. But I was looking at this type of ideas, and wasn't too satisfied with the result.
So c4, you take here, then it leads to all these complications. Maybe you can also take rook takes c4, right?
Yeah, then I was worried, and then rook c1, and then couldn't really find anything here. So there were many ideas. I don't even remember most of them. I forgot I forgot.
Right.
C4 is definitely. I remember that being the crucial move. If you wanted to make a defensive effort.
So he played rook c1 here, which was
yeah.
not
This
the
just
best.
Loses. Yeah. Now, yeah, he missed queen takes d5 rook c6, which I was hoping he missed, and he did. So it was a successful risk.
Wow, this is so cool. Because if he takes here, then you give a check, king here, and a mate. Very cool. And so rook c6. This is typical rook lift. He went f3, check, king here, check, king here, and now check here. Check. And you win. What a game. I really liked it. He was trying to attack you and you got to his king first.
Yeah, exactly. That's the counterattack is always the key.
Yeah. By the way, we have a super chat from Swapnil Sharma, who says, I'm a huge fan of Hans, who doesn't mind watching his streams late at night. For what it's worth, I'll be forever grateful to Hans and Chess Bra to develop interest in chess. Thanks, Sagar, for inviting him. I hope you invite Hans and Chess Bra in future. So, I
That's very
mean,
nice.
if you were streaming like late Indian hours, yet there were some people who were following you.
I think most American hours are all late Indian hours. I think the time difference is like all the late nights. But yeah, I think at some point maybe I'll make my big return to streaming. But I think for now I'm really enjoying playing, and uh, I want to reach 2,700 first, and then I'll stream. So that's my goal.
Yeah. Do you think like as I see a lot of youngsters right now in Indian chess as well, who are around 2,600, like Nihal, Pragnananda, Raunak, Gukesh. Uh, how do you see yourself? I mean, of course, there's no point in comparing, but how do you see them as players and yourself? What would you say is the difference there?
I would say that a lot of those guys have much more experience, and maybe you could say super tournaments. Like I'm sort of new to the top juniors, so I haven't like Nihal and Prague are so well known and so talented that they're getting invites to a lot of these big events, right? Like Nihal is playing this Beal event and all these events. So I think um, they're already sort of seasoned professionals at 15 or 16 years old. So for me now, I'm just sort of trying to break into that semi-elite level, like of these sort of invitationals, but not like top invitationals. But I think for me to sort of, I think on a rating level, Nihal is a bit higher, but I'm similar to Prague and these types of guys. And I think for now, I need to just focus on improving, and but also just need to play the best players that I can. So I think we'll see how that develops. But if any tournament organizers are watching, please invite me to your super tournaments. I'd love to play.
Yeah, I think opportunity is something very important. In fact, you were on the cover of Chess Life magazine, right, in April. A very nice picture of you there. And it was mentioned that you spoke a lot about how you became a grandmaster in that entire thing. Is there something that is worth mentioning here about your journey of becoming a champion?
I think it's mainly that regardless of COVID or regardless of whatever obstacles you may face, that I think in chess there's the opportunity to do whatever you really put your mind to. And I think it's even interesting with a lot of these Indian players who are coming from very difficult backgrounds and are becoming so successful. Like in chess, it really just doesn't matter. And I think that for me it was a matter of just pushing through, because there were some very, very difficult times during my Europe trip, and it wasn't always looking like I was just going to become 2,600. I could have very easily gotten stuck at 2,500 and be going to college right now.
Right.
So it's I think I'm very thankful for the opportunity, and I think I'm just going to continue to work hard and hope things go well.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I hope that as well. Before we, end this, I wanted to see one last game, a bit of it, because this was your win against, I think, one of the top US juniors, but also one of the top juniors in the world of chess, Jeffrey Xiong. I don't know, how do you pronounce it, Xiong or?
Zhang, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And let's go through this game. I think the opening is very interesting. It also happened in the game of Vidit recently against Duda
And yeah,
at the
Vidit did it, yeah.
quarterfinals of the World Cup. Knight e5, knight h5, takes, knight c6, queen c6. And yeah, here there are several moves. Like there is rook c8, there is, but I mean, rook c8 is the main move, right? You went a6.
Yeah, so I had this prepared actually,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't for this game. I just happened to look at it before, and luckily I had it ready for this game. But this was my try. This is what I wanted. Um, Here he has to play it very precisely, but this is just equal.
Yeah, he must find a way to get an advantage, but queen c2 is not that way. There was rook c8. Oh, by queen c8. By the way, the news right now is that Magnus Carlsen has been knocked out of the World Cup and Duda has beaten him.
Oh no! Oh wow! I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to check this out.
yeah, yeah. That's a big upset actually. I think
What's
Magnus's dream of winning the World Cup remains unfulfilled as of now.
Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know what happened. That's crazy. Wow, Duda even doesn't. Duda usually is very poorly against Magnus as well. So this is like a very surprising. Um, wow.
No, no. I
Okay.
mean, he had broken his streak, right, when they played.
Yeah, no, of course, but like, it's just you don't expect these things of Magnus. You just sort of assume that he'll crush everyone, and yeah, but Duda, of course, is a beast. So
Yeah, just I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but I mean,
yeah, I'm pulling it up.
we can have a look at it here together, and also for the people. This is very big shock because the first game ended in a draw, and then the second game Duda was playing with black. I think he played an opening where he was maybe okay with a draw, perhaps.
Yeah, this is I actually had a game in this. I was crushed by one of the Indian talents, Day Shahil.
Ah,
And
Shahil
this
Day.
and this yeah, he absolutely crushed me. And this was during one of my downturns. But
Ah, you mean in that period where you lost a few?
yeah. So this was but yeah, no, this line is it's not
You were black
nothing
in
too.
that game?
I was white. Yeah, I was
Ah, you were
white.
white.
He just absolutely demolished me. It was very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Let's see
So
six.
look,
I think Magnus maybe tried a bit too hard, yeah, to play for a win like all these. Although we learned this right now, guys, just from Hans, that you should play h4 here and rook. But
yeah, exactly. But here it's a bit too slow. Yeah, I think you just over pushed and
a5, a4, 6. Oh my god. I think Magnus got positionally outplayed.
yeah, that's a very rare thing to happen.
Wow, it's so beautiful how
But the,
Duda got all his pieces nicely placed. Yeah, the knight, bishop. Takes, this is 6. Take, this is 4.
yeah, but he even comes back. He's like holding here, and
Yeah, I think Duda went wrong. I think here it was necessary maybe to find a move like f6, but this was a mistake. And then came back, should be 3. Check.
suddenly it's a draw again, and now it's losing.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no.
think it was a tough. I think bishop endgames are very tricky, and he lost this a pawn. Yeah, he
That
resigned.
is, yeah, that's uh, Magnus. Tough, very
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. Have you met him and like have you spent time with Magnus before?
I in Reykjavik when I was 12 years old, we played some football, and I was in a car with him. on the way back.
Okay.
So that is my and he actually remembered. So he actually remembered us meeting, which I was very happy. Yeah,
How do you know he remembered? Like you spoke to him or
I
whilst?
think so. I messaged him on Lichess Messenger, and he was like, "Oh, he made it was a joke. It was very funny." But yeah, I did briefly meet him. I was too nervous to talk to him. But then when he was leaving, I said, I was like, so how long are you staying? He was probably like, why is this little kid asking me but he also like looked at one of my games or something. I think as any chess player, you're sort of fanboy over Magnus, and every time you have an interaction. But yeah.
Right. And I think you played with him on stream now, like in this period, like or no?
Yeah, I beat him in a bullet game, and I made a YouTube video about it. That's basically what I did. But we played some blitz and stuff. But, he doesn't. When Magnus was playing, I got some games against him. He when he did his he once played on chess.com as this meme, and it was very and I played him a few games. Any chance to play Magnus is a golden opportunity.
Absolutely. So queen d3, b5 here, rook c1, queen b7. So it looks all very steady. And here, this is what I mean. Yeah, like you always like to play aggressively. Like this looks very normal, rook f8. But you went b4, allowing knight a4, maybe, looking at these squares.
Yeah. I guess you could say I just got bored and wanted to have some fun. Wanted to make the position interesting.
This was at the World Open, right? And how important was this event for you, the World Open?
It was sort of important, but I think it's just chess at the end of the day. Of course, it was very important because I won like $12,000, so It was obviously quite important. But it was a breakthrough event for me, and to have such high performance against some players, and I also broke 2,600 at this tournament, so obviously very, very, very special tournament that I'll be looking back on. Sure.
Yeah. Do you have any sponsors like for this, or you are self-sponsored?
Yeah, I don't have any sponsors, unfortunately. And in America, I guess American Federation should be taking notes from the Indian Federation, because you guys have all these talented players, all these scholarships, but in America, the federation really just doesn't care about sponsoring anyone, and in terms of like companies, or it's very difficult. So there's only really St. Louis, which is sponsoring players, but only really to guys like Fabi. So yeah, no, I'm not sponsored right now, but if India wants to offer me something, I'd be happy to change federations and come join your team.
This is very rare. Yeah, like usually everyone goes to the US these days, like they transfer there, but you are looking to change federations.
I wouldn't say I'm that seriously looking. I'm just sometimes when I'm frustrated about not having any sponsors, I might make some jokes about moving to federations.
But your tournament winnings are right now what keep you going, or how is it?
The streaming money I saved. I really don't spend money on anything other than ducats. So that's my biggest monthly expense is ducats.
To analyze on cloud engines, yes?
Yes. It's just ducats. So yeah, right now I'm tournament winnings and streaming before some money, and I have some faith that the sponsors will come eventually. Just have to be patient and continue improving.
Yeah. Well, if anyone from the US listening to this, I think Hans might be a good bet for you to sponsor, because he's just 18 and already top 20 in juniors in the world. So queen b5, he went knight c5 here. Maybe this was not the best move, right? Queen b5, rook f8 was better.
Yeah. Queen b5 was definitely not correct. But it made things interesting and gave me some winning chances. So objectively, maybe not the best, but definitely created a very fighting game.
How much importance do you give to these practical things? I mean, I've seen you even talking in our previous interview where you say that, oh, the engine prefers this move, but I don't think this is a bad move. I think this has practical chances here for myself. And you say this quite often.
Yeah, I think I just a way to an excuse for my mistakes. I think I can just say that the word practical chances is just an excuse whenever the computer disagrees with me. But in general, I think sometimes I tend to, be more flexible. And sometimes I just don't really play it safe. I just, want to, and I enjoy playing chess. And the more interesting the position, the more fun I have. So
yeah.
As but I've been trying to become more objective now. And as a 2600, I need to be a bit more. I need to be playing Rook FC8 probably as a 2600.
Exactly.
We'll see.
That will take
see
you to 2700 if you go Rook FC8.
Yes. Yeah, but I was even talking to people after the game, and they were like, "Okay, Queen B5 is not the best move, but the reason why people don't beat 2700s is because they don't play moves like Queen B5." Like a lot of these top guys are like they're not invincible. Like, but if you want to beat them, you sort of have to,
You have to muddy the waters, yeah?
These are the type. You have to muddy the waters, but it's also, it's stress. But yeah, I felt confident, and as long until my confidence is destroyed, I'll be playing moves like Queen B5.
Okay, so Queen B5, Knight C5 takes, Rook FB8, he went C6, Rook C8, Rook to C2. And now you played another very interesting move, Knight to G4.
Yeah, so the computer hates this move. Really, really hates it. Because of Queen to D4.
Which he did not play, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to think here, but
maybe H5 or something.
Yeah, I was thinking H5. I don't think Queen takes E2 works. It might. Rook E1, I was thinking Bishop F6, but I remember there being something here that was not good.
Here Queen E2 has Bishop C3. Your notes mention this.
Yes. Bishop C3. Yes. This is what. Thankfully, I didn't. I think I missed this during the game. Actually, it would have been very bad. I don't think I would have taken, but yeah, this was not good. Yeah. So then he just played takes in E4, and I'm very happy. So.
Yeah. Now I think B3, Rook C1. You took on E4. You took on B3. You took on E1, and now F5.
Yeah.
Rook C1, Knight E5. Now this pawn is hanging. So he went C7. Bishop D6. He went Bishop A5. You brought the king in. He brought his bishop. Knight to F3 check. King G2 and Knight D4.
Yeah. So now it's still around equal.
Yeah, it's
definitely
still,
the better side.
I don't know if he takes here, and here.
This is losing. I calculated this. Rook takes C7. If you trade the rooks, it's losing. But
how did you assess this as winning for you? Like what?
Well, I played D3, run the king to D4, and played G5 F4, and the pawns are too far advanced.
Okay.
To basically D3, and then it's the B pawns are held, and there's nothing much you can do.
So he went here F4.
Yeah, this was okay. He's like, okay, I really want to beat you. And of course, I was very happy because it's nice when your opponents are so playing such fighting chess.
Yes, King F2, Knight E6. He took on F3. Now he took on C7. And I believe that if he would have taken here, then you would have gone Rook B8, right?
Yes.
And taken one of the two bishops. So therefore he didn't take, he played b4. He went
Yeah.
g5.
So yeah, now I'm just sort of waiting for him to do something and just pushing my pawns.
Improving your position, and now you.
Yeah.
I don't know why he went bishop c5. Like,
It's funny that it's equal still. This shows the strength of these guys. You can play a move like bishop c5, and it's just the best move. Or not the best move, but equal. Just totally equal. So it would be, but it's not the equal you want to allow, right? Like he has 0 winning chances.
yeah, e4, bishop e5, bishop b3. He's come here and pinned your knight. You had to go rook e8, king f6, rook d6, h4.
So yeah, some progress is being made.
You can't do much, right? If he just stands here, then it's not easy to make
Yeah,
progress.
so he needs to play rook c6, yeah, or king
He has
f2,
to
and
wait.
it's a draw. Just he waits. It's just a draw. I really just can't do anything. I can win the b2 pawn, come back, still can't do anything. So this, it's a tough decision to make. So even here, just king f2 and.
Yeah, he should have, but he took this, and I think now after h3, king f2, I want everyone in the chat to find this last move of the day, what Hans played here. Black to play and beat one of the biggest talents in the world of chess, Jeffrey Jean. Nice. Well done. Everyone's on the ball here. Ojas being brilliant at chess. Vasily, Utkarsh, Jatin, Bondita, Abhichess, Savita, Swarup, and Nitin Desai. Congratulations for finding the move that even Hans found. F4 in the position. Well done. I think now you're winning.
Yeah, this is it's just game over. Game over, but it's basically.
Knight back.
Yeah, now this 96 was very nice. I calculated it's really this was very good.
You can't do something else. Like, is this? I mean, what was the?
This 92 is winning as well. There's other moves, but 96 is just the simplest. Like it gives no room for white to do anything. King g1 is forced, and then after bishop d4, king f2 is forced. After g3, h takes is forced. After rook h8, all these moves are just forced.
Beautiful. And if he goes rook, he can't go rook b6. So yeah, he had to play. I mean, he played bishop c2. You took. Now very strong move, stopping bishop e4. And next, this pawn is unstoppable. Wow.
Yeah.
What a win. I think this win is important because you started believing in yourself. Yeah, that you can beat anyone.
Yeah, this is important. It's rare that I get to play these 2700s. Like now, I'm sort of just playing opens, but like when I'm going to Europe, like the Sharjah Masters, for example, will be a tournament where I get to play many of these 2700s. So it's good to sort of get the experience now. Because hopefully I hope to just never have to play an open tournament again. just go play these because open tournaments are tough because you might in the first round you might play some wonder kid and you're like, oh no. So,
well, open tournaments are the ones where people get to play against strong players like yourself now. So just like how you are looking to play 2700s, those 2400s want to play against 2600s.
Yeah, so I think if the next Europe trip goes well, then I can graduate from most open tournaments, only the strong ones.
Absolutely. And this is your picture after you won the US Juniors Championship?
Yes, this is the picture.
Very nice. And how was that event? Like you scored 6 points. It was tough one, I thought, the US Juniors Championship.
Yeah, it's very strong, 2,500 average rating. I started out really well, and then at the end, I guess nerves, tired. There was one game in the 7th round that I was very upset that I didn't win, and then that sort of led to me losing my next game. So I could have won it a bit in a much cleaner fashion, but I had a full point lead with 3 games to go, so I sort of had some room to make some mistakes. But thankfully, at the end, I won first, and that's what matters.
Who would you say from this list is someone to watch out for in terms of, someone who will be the next big thing from US chess?
It's most of these guys are really going to college, but I think Andrew Hung is pretty good. He just scored 2 GM norms. He's going to be pretty good. But I think the main issue with all these guys in this field, and the big issue with American chess, is the lack of sort of sponsors and stuff. All these guys are just going to college. Like Nicholas Chick is in college, Burke is in college, Favin's in college, Jacobson's in college, Brodsky, Christopher Yu is a bit young, but Andrew Hung will probably go to college. Ben Lee is in college. Like all these guys are just going to good universities, and they're not going to really improve much as chess players because they're just spending all their time in academics. So it's sort of a tough dilemma that a lot of American players and other players sort of face.
But Christopher Yu is a strong youngster. Yeah, he's also into composing and pretty good overall.
Yeah, for him, it's mainly just seeing if a lot of these young guys, you sort of need to wait to see when they make GM, because a lot of kids I am very young, but most of them sort of take a while to break through. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, you are one of the brightest hopes for US junior chess. I mean, there's also Abhimanyu Mishra, who's rising, who just became a GM. But I think in terms of strength, you are 2,600 plus. So yeah, it looks very interesting. Before I let you go, if we had to write down a few points that people can follow you for, that can help. I think maybe the one thing which I took away from this is play a lot of chess.
Yes, absolutely. That's the number one that I was going to say. I think number 2 is I think you should sort of hold yourself accountable and really try to understand what went wrong. And then I think, because a lot of times other people can tell you what went wrong, but if you understand it yourself, then it can be much more valuable. I think when you're studying chess, make sure it's something you actually enjoy. I think a lot of people sort of study chess and do things that they don't enjoy just because they think it'll make them better. And I think that's can hurt a lot of people's passions for chess. What to say?
So you are saying that when you are working on chess, I mean, when you work seriously on these books of Agard and all of these, you enjoy doing it. You just don't do it for your...
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it. I refuse to do anything in chess that I don't really enjoy. Like studying openings, all this stuff, I enjoy it. But if someone was like, okay, I want you to read Dvoretsky, maybe, and I don't, it's unlikely that I'll do it. If I'm really, for example, in this juniors tournament, I had some rook end games that I was upset about, so I'll go to Dvoretsky for 10 hours and fix it. But just naturally, I won't do things that I don't enjoy. That's sort of my rule.
Very nice.
Because I think it's just the most important thing to improving is just, I think, is just enjoying it, to being happy. Because otherwise the results in the past, I let the results really affect me way too much. So I guess that's another thing you can write. Just focus on the play and not the results.
Very nice.
And there's also, I think, Fabi had this quote that I really liked. He said like focus on raising your worst results. Like focus on raising your because your ceiling and your best results will only improve. Just focus on not having bad tournaments and yeah, or you focus on raising your weakest results. Or I feel like I'm back in school. I'm doing a presentation on how to get better at chess.
Yeah, like these are the few points which people will take away, and just like how you remembered something from Fabi, maybe people will
Yeah.
remember something from this, and they will keep in mind.
Yeah. For me, I also really don't use any social media anymore. So if you want to have more time towards chess, social media, get rid of it.
Get rid of.
Unless you don't have to get rid of it.
You are active on Twitter, right? Sometimes or not?
Twitter, yeah, I tweet like updates and stuff because I feel sort of bad. I had this huge following and then I just stopped streaming. So I'm like, okay, I should give some updates on chess and stuff. And it's also motivating for me to see sort of the support and people are still invested in me as a chess player. So
right.
Twitter, I'll be active with most of the social medias I'll like never really touch. I sort of just wake up and
yeah, I was actually very surprised to see that our interview, which had like back then maybe 10,000-12,000 views, now had 65,000 views. I think it's all those people who have started following you checked out that interview as well, right? So a lot of people following you in the
lockdown. Yeah. Yeah. So that I probably watched the interview like 10 times at least. It's like one of my favorites interviews. Because it's just very funny to look back on that.
Yeah, I mean,
because even then, I think
so many variations you just said, and I remember towards the end that rook endgame trying to put the board was confusing because you kind of said a few moves back and forth, and I spent a lot of time for that, but it was amazing how you gave all the variations. I'll put the link of that interview in the description, and guys, if you want to follow Hans, check out his Twitch and also YouTube. Maybe someday in the future, he may start streaming regularly. But for now, I think we should let you go and focus on your chess. And I am very, very grateful, Hans, for that you came here and gave your time because the last few days, I mean, as you said, you missed a flight, or I mean, you didn't get a flight and it was not easy, but still you kept this appointment. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I'm just a huge fan of Chess Base India. Happy to be on here. But again, I'm very happy to see how much you guys have grown. I remember the channel in 2 years ago, you guys were getting, maybe a couple thousand views, and now you guys are one of the biggest, chess channels. So it's great to see the India's love for chess.
Thank you.
So definitely, if I'm considering moving federations, India will be on the list for sure.
That's wonderful to hear. And I think we'll keep a thing that if you reach 2,700, then I would love to have you again, and we would go through some of your nice games at that point.
Yes, I'm expecting within a year. I'm expecting that.
Within a year.
So I'll be back soon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Good luck to you.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Yes. It's not going to be easy, but I think with your level of confidence, it's very much possible. So all the best, Hans, for that.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Guys, that was Hans Niemann from the US, and I'm very glad that he could come here and spend some time with us, showing some of his beautiful games, talking about his philosophy of chess. I think it's very, very nice to also, you have been exposed to a lot of Indian talents, but chess is a universal sport, and Hans is a player whose rise has even surprised many chess experts as to how he's able to do it. And even after this interview, it keeps me kind of puzzled as to how did he manage to reach 2,600 so quickly. He doesn't have a trainer. From his appearance, it looks as if he doesn't work very hard on chess, like solving. But that's the thing about chess, different people approach it differently. He seems very focused, he puts in a lot of effort when he's playing chess. And guys, these are few of the things which he mentioned, which you should definitely keep an eye on. He says play a lot of chess, hold yourself accountable and understand what went wrong. Enjoy the process of learning chess. Focus on the play and not on the results. Focus on raising your worst results. It's more like, work on your weaknesses, try to get them better. And well, get rid of social media. This is something that we are seeing more and more being said by good players, like even Vidit right now, who was at the World Cup, was away from social media. I think this was a very nice session. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, Shivangi Tripathi says it was very inspiring to see his confidence and determination. Absolutely. And being brilliant at chess says OP stream. Hans is too good. No doubt he's 2600. Thank you. Yeah. And Rahul Gaikwad says you are welcome to India, Hans. Yes. So Mayur says agree with point 6. Viren Joshi says Sagar, don't endorse number 6, otherwise you will lose us. Yeah, well, if you want to reach 2600 and 2700, I would be okay losing you. But yeah, it was very nice talking to him, and I hope you guys had a good time. I think I'll check out the game again of Duda versus Carlsen, maybe work on a video on that, because it's a big news that Magnus Carlsen has been eliminated for the World Cup. But for now, we'll end this stream. Hans Niemann, once again, thank you for being here. Take care, guys. Bye bye.